Pokemon League Challenges have something for everyone. Whether you're a casual Pokemon fan that's never even considered going to a tournament, or you're grinding for a World Championship invite, or you're somewhere in between, Pokemon League Challenges are for you. They are the smallest and most casual official Pokemon card tournaments, but they are a step up in seriousness from local tournaments. That is because League Challenges award championship points. Championship points go towards earning an invite to the Pokémon World Championships, which yes, someday you might do. But you have to start somewhere. League Challenges award a relatively small amount of points. They are mainly aimed at new players, giving them their first taste of official competitive Pokemon card play. I would know because I myself am a new competitive Pokemon card player. I have been a lifelong Pokemon TCG lover and enjoyer. I even played one season of competitive Pokemon cards back in 2012 and 2013. But it wasn't until just a few months before recording this video that I started playing Pokemon cards again, thanks to my amazing, intelligent, and beautiful girlfriend Liv. So if you're watching this while you're just getting started, just remember I was in your shoes about 2 months before I recorded this video. So I'm gonna get some things wrong, so please chime in whenever I mess some things up. But to mitigate these mistakes, I made sure to reach out to some local, more experienced players here in New Jersey to help me out with this video, and we're gonna hear from them later in the video. But first, I'm gonna let you know what you can expect before taking on a Pokemon League Challenge at the actual event, and what you should do after a Pokemon League Challenge to get the most out of your experience. Before we play in a League Challenge, we gotta find one to play in. Head over to the Pokemon website, go to the Play Pokemon page, click Find an Event, use the Play Pokemon Events locator. Type in your location. You can filter by tournaments or leagues. Tournaments are one-off events, whereas leagues are like a standing date that, hey, there's going to be Pokemon played at this time, at this location. Click on the event you want to go to. We want to check for a few things. Dan tip, if it is your first time going to a shop, I strongly recommend calling ahead, making sure you can pre-register, and then asking any questions you might have about the cost of the event, what time it starts, and if there's any specific parking instructions or what have you. Sometimes shops have different info. The shop will take a cut of the entry fees and usually distribute a good amount of it back to the top finishers of the event in the form of either packs or store credit. Now that we know when and where we are going to be playing, we need to know what we're gonna play. We need to pick a deck. Dan tip, if you have no idea what kind of cards to put in your deck, or you're a new player, Limitless is an incredible resource. I suggest you find a deck that you want to try out, and then modify it from there to work on your deck building skills gradually. It's really important to just play something you like and you're comfortable with, and to not care what anyone else says. At the end of the day, Pokemon is about smiling and laughing. Dan tip, I am allegedly 6'3". Once you find a list you want to try, I recommend you build the deck online first before building it in real life. Once you got 60 cards you like, get them in real life. Preferably you can then test with them in real life first, because there is a little bit of a jump going from online to playing in real life, so it's good to practice. But before you practice in real life, it's time to sleeve up your deck. This is where I promote a sleeve brand if I had a sleeve sponsor, which I do not yet. Technically, you can play in a tournament without sleeves, but if any of your cards get marked on the back, you're not going to be able to play with them. So trust me, pick up some sleeves, they're not too expensive. Sleeves aren't the only accessory you're going to need. Make sure you have a playmat. This will not only keep your sleeves clean, but stop them from sticking to the table. You'll need some damage counters. I recommend dice. You can use any old dice, but all the Elite Trainer boxes and League Battle decks come with really conveniently numbered damage counter dice. You'll need at least one die for flipping and or a coin to flip, and a poison and burn special condition marker. Optionally, you can have ability markers, but you can also just tilt your card to the side like this to keep track of using your abilities. If you don't have any of these accessories, that's no problem. You can usually buy them at any store that's going to be hosting a League Challenge. So now we know when we're playing, where we're playing, and what we're playing. Now let's fast forward to maybe the day before or the day of. There is an important step that you should not forget that will make your day go so much smoother, and that is to print out your deck list before getting to the shop. I recommend using RK9. It's a really easy way that you can take your deck list from TCG Live and print out your deck list. If you don't have a player ID, don't worry, you will get a player ID at the store. One common mistake is not listing the exact printing of the Pokemon you're using. For Pokemon, you need to specify the set and the number in the set. You do not have to do this for trainer cards. Now that you got everything together, there's one more important thing, and that is take a shower. Do not perpetuate the stereotype that us gamers are stinky. And I've had very pleasant experiences, very little smells. I've even seen shops provide deodorant and say that it is imperative that folks use deodorant. But from what I've seen, Pokemon players smell pretty good, and I think that's good. Once you're cleaned up, we're ready to go. I do recommend you bring a water bottle, bring maybe a snack, bring some napkins. It's underrated how long some of these events can be, and it can be mentally draining, so definitely bring that snack. If you're also a Pokemon card collector, feel free to bring a binder of cards to trade, and do not feel uncomfortable about bringing up TCG Player to compare the cost of the cards. That is acceptable, and you really gotta make sure you don't wanna get swindled out of some cool cards. Once you're finally ready to go, aim to get to the store 30 minutes before the event so you can get all registered and build in some time just in case you get lost on your first time there. If you do not have a Pokemon player ID, build in about 10 extra minutes once you get to the store, because someone at the store who's organizing the tournament is going to set you up in the Play Pokemon system and get you that player ID that we saw earlier on Arcanine that maybe was a little confusing. Once you get your player ID, or if you already have one, all you got to do is pay the fee for the event and hand in your deck list. Then it's time to wait for the tournament to get started. Depending on if you're more extroverted or more introverted, you might use this time differently. I'm a very extroverted person, so my experience went like this. I purposely left my smartwatch home, I left my phone in my backpack, and I just waited till the other players made eye contact with me. Then I said, "Hi, I'm Dan," and asked them, "Hey, what's your favorite Pokemon? How long you been playing?" And just struck up conversations. Most players are super welcoming, and it's really easy to just get them yapping, especially because we all have one thing in common. We're here to play Pokemon, we're here to smile and laugh, and Pokemon is fun. Somewhere between paying your entry fee and the start of round one of the tournament organizers is gonna walk around and hand out the prize packs. These contain 6 play-stamped Pokemon cards you can only get from attending Pokemon tournaments. The pairings will get printed out and posted on the wall somewhere for everyone to go see, unless the printer is broken, of course, and it's broken way more than you would think. Walk up, look at the list, and find your name. There you'll look for 2 very important things. The first is what table you're playing on, and the second is who is your opponent for this round. Walk over to that table based on the number, and once the other player gets there, just confirm that they are who you think they are. Ask them their name, because mix-ups do happen. You don't want to get started in a game and realize, uh-oh, this is not who I'm supposed to be playing. Then go ahead and take a seat. Lay out your mat if you brought it, I hope you did, and any good luck charms. I like to bring me and Liv's Mouse Fluff and my best buddy Slowpoke. After you're done shuffling, before you set up, and before any time you shuffle, you must ask your opponent whether or not they want to cut your deck. This is to prevent cheating by stacking the good cards on top. Folks are less inclined to cheat at smaller events, but you would be surprised on how petty people can be. Dan tip, if you are paying money to play Pokemon, you should cut your opponent's deck just to be safe. But now go ahead and play the game. We're not going to cover that part of it in this video. If you are curious still on how to play and the mechanics, I can make a video on that if you'd like. Once the game ends, you will both sign a match slip that tells the tournament organizers who won. The winner usually brings the match slip up to report the score. After the match slip is handed in, you get some time to rest up and prepare for your next match. This is a great time to get some fresh air, use the restroom, have a snack, drink some water, or check up on your phone notifications. Because make sure you do not use your phone or smartwatch during your match. Dan tip, if it's an officially sanctioned event like a league challenge, do not ask your opponent or anyone around you for help during the match. That would be coaching and could result in penalties. But I do encourage you to ask for help or some advice after the match. Once every match for the round has been completed, the tournament organizers will post the next round's pairing. You'll repeat this process until all the rounds are complete. The number of rounds at that tournament are based on how many trainers are there to battle. Pokemon tournaments are done with like hockey style scoring. I think hockey, I don't really follow hockey. If you win, you get 3 points. If you tie, you get 1 point. Once all matches in the final round are complete, the final standings will be announced and prizing will be distributed. If you like the shop you played at and the people seem to generally have good vibes, I recommend you asking a staff member or one of the players if there's a Discord server for the shop. This is a great way to stay up to date with local events and your local Pokemon scene. On the topic of Discord, if you enjoy Pokemon, which I assume you do, you should consider joining my Discord server to stay up to date with my community, the Danimal Kingdom, and all my Dan-tastic content. My favorite thing to do after an event is opening up the prize pack. Again, each prize pack contains 6 play-stamped cards. If you finish higher in the tournament, you might get additional packs. These cards are often playable cards, which means they're useful in at least one deck. Because of this, I would hold off on buying cards for more than one deck when you're just getting started. Once you get some prize packs, there's a good chance you'll have less cards you need to buy. Like anything, you should take time to reflect on your experience. Did you make any major mistakes? Are there any changes you want to make for your deck for next time? Did you have fun? Did you smile and laugh? Did you make any new friends? Are you high right now? Do you ever get nervous? Are you single? Make sure to not be too hard on yourself here. Yeah, it stinks losing, but at the end of the day, Pokemon cards is a game and it's fun. We could be at work right now, instead we're playing Pokemon cards. That rocks. After a couple days, you can log into the Pokemon website and check out your Play Pokemon page. There you can see how you placed in the tournaments you compete in and any championship points you may have earned. If you're like me, you'll have the itch to play more and more Pokemon after your first League Challenge. And if you've already played in one, let me know in the comments one memory from your first Pokemon League Challenge. I'm a new player, so don't just take it from me. Let's hear from some of New Jersey's finest Pokemon trainers. What is your name?
Eusebio. Friends call me Save, though.
Hi, my name is Lyra.
What's your name?
AV. My name is Hunter Smith.
How long have you been playing in Pokemon tournaments?
I've been playing for Pokemon for about 13 years now.
In August, it'll be a year.
I've been playing Pokemon competitively for give or take 15 years. I've been judging for 2 years.
And we're at
Liquid Games.
Why do shops hold Pokemon card tournaments?
It brings the community together. It's definitely something new and can be scary, but it brings people together. You don't see people you see every other day, and people you think that don't play Pokemon will surprise you when you see them. They do play Pokemon. We have people that travel across the world. They're just casually playing Pokemon. We have some world champions that sometimes show up, regional winners that just
really
happen
cool.
to be your next door neighbor.
What should a new player expect at their first Pokemon Card League Challenge?
So I think at a League Challenge, players should expect a scene that's a little more competitive than their normal local. However, it's still a fairly casual experience that is very good for players to start to build their skill set and prepare for things like League Cups and Regionals.
What do you remember from your first Pokemon League Challenge?
I had a lot to learn, but I had fun. I learned there's a lot of people who play it. It's not just a kid's game. I see a lot of adults play it. I learned that Pokemon's for everybody, even when you're 36 years old.
That's a bar. What did you wish you knew before your first Pokemon card tournament?
You should just talk to people because everyone at the Pokemon tournaments, they're very friendly. Like, I've rarely had any bad interactions with anyone at tournaments. And if you just say, like, just introduce yourself to these to people, you'll be able to learn a lot about the game and make new friends. What I usually do when I'm at a tournament is I always ask how long I've been playing the game for, who's your favorite Pokemon, and just like where they're from and just like get to know a little more about them so you can also tell them a little more about yourself.
Who is the judge at a Pokemon League Challenge? What do they do?
So judges are there to make sure that the integrity of the game remains in place, be it intentionally or on accident. Sometimes things happen. But also judges are there to ensure that a tournament will run smoothly. Judges can be your tournament organizer or a dedicated judge. I tend to take the role of both at a League Cup and a League Challenge. Tournament organizers are more there to make sure that the venue is safe, the tournament is running smoothly, and everyone is happy with the way the tournament itself is ran.
What's one thing a new player might not think to bring to their first Pokemon tournament?
Bring an extra pack of sleeves. Always bring an extra pack of sleeves. Just because mid-round you break a sleeve You don't want to go rush buy sleeves and have to re-sleeve your whole deck. Just have extra sleeves. It's very important.
Have you had any sleeve emergencies in a tournament?
Always. Every tournament. Not every tournament, but most tournaments I do.
What do you remember from your first Pokemon card tournament?
So at my first tournament, I was actually a spectator. It was at a Battle Roads in 2012 at Howell Lanes in New Jersey. It was about like 15 people, and I met a lot of people there that I now call lifelong friends. Just because at my first tournament, I met them, I introduced myself, and they introduced themselves to me. So we became friends from there.
What is your message for someone that's on the fence about trying their first Pokemon card tournament?
I would say just do it. I mean, you have the cards, and if you don't, we have them for you, or someone else will definitely have them for you. There's people that just have their playables come in, and they'll definitely help you out or let you borrow a deck. So if you're scared or worried that you can't find the cards, or you can't find the shop, don't worry about that. We have an event locator for a reason, and the community's strong, so you'll definitely find a deck.
Go play some Pokemon.
Go play some Pokemon.
Go play some Pokemon.
Go play some Pokemon.
I'm so excited to be so early in my Pokemon card journey. I hope you follow along with it. I'm going to be posting my tournament experiences here, and I can't wait to hear from yours as well. Definitely let me know in the comments if you end up trying a Pokemon League challenge. Make sure you smile and laugh, and remember, I am 6'3".